Stop trying to force things. Denzel Washington, Stoicism. As the great philosopher Epictetus once said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. This profound wisdom speaks to the heart of today's topic. Stop trying to force things. How often do we push ourselves to control every detail of our lives, believing that if we force things, they will fall into place? Yet, despite our best efforts, life doesn't always follow our timeline. In today's video, we'll explore why letting go of that need to control everything is not about giving up. It's about trusting the process, embracing patience, and allowing life to unfold at its own pace. By applying these principles, we can create room for real growth and success. So I ask you, when was the last time you let go of control and trusted the journey? Drop a comment below with your thoughts, and let's discuss how we can all stop forcing and start flowing with life. Welcome to Stoic in Your Life. Why you shouldn't force everything. Number 1. Things don't always come on your terms. Life has a way of teaching us that things don't always happen on our terms, no matter how much we try to control them. You may have your life all mapped out, goals set, a clear timeline, a path that seems certain, but often things don't unfold the way you expect them to. This can be frustrating, especially when you feel like you've worked hard or planned meticulously, only for circumstances to push you in another direction. But what if I told you that the best things in life often show up when you least expect them? Sometimes the most valuable opportunities come in moments that you hadn't anticipated, and it's when we let go of trying to force things that we can truly recognize them. Take, for instance, the story of Denzel Washington, who once shared a piece of advice that resonates with a profound truth of life. Don't chase success. Let it chase you. Washington's words are not just motivational. They reflect the Stoic principle of acceptance and trust in life's timing. When we obsess over rigid plans and outcomes, we miss out on the beauty and growth that come from simply living in the present. It's easy to get caught up in trying to control every aspect of our journey. You set a goal, and you want to see the results immediately. But when you keep pushing and forcing, you often overlook the doors that are already open in front of you. Life has its own rhythm, and sometimes the best opportunities appear when we stop trying so hard to fit them into our personal timeline. The Stoic secrets teach us that the world doesn't revolve around our individual schedules, and the sooner we accept this, the more peace we'll find. Have you ever experienced a time when you tried to control everything and ended up frustrated, only to later discover that the situation turned out better than expected? Think about it. Maybe that job you thought you needed didn't come through, but the next opportunity, which seemed less than ideal at first, opened a new chapter in your life. This is the essence of Stoic wisdom: acceptance and adaptability. Stoicism teaches us that it's not the events themselves that cause distress, but our judgments about them. When we resist what is, we create unnecessary tension in our lives. Instead, the Stoic path encourages us to embrace what is happening now, letting go of the need to control the future. By doing so, we allow ourselves to learn and grow in ways we hadn't imagined. Let go of the tight grip you have on your timeline and be present in each moment. Ask yourself, what can I learn from what is happening right now? How can I grow from this moment, even if it's not what I expected? These questions help shift our mindset from frustration to understanding. Remember, when you stop forcing outcomes, you create space for new opportunities to emerge. Instead of relentlessly trying to make things happen on your schedule, try to be more present and open to the unfolding of life. Trust that things will happen when the time is right, and sometimes they will happen in ways far better than you ever imagined. The message is clear. Stop trying to force things and start trusting that life has its own timeline that can lead you to beautiful, unexpected places. The Stoic secrets encourage us to embrace life's flow rather than fight against it. This doesn't mean giving up or resigning yourself to fate. Rather, it means understanding the importance of balance. of putting in the effort without becoming attached to a specific outcome. So, reflect on your own journey. Are there areas where you've been trying too hard to control the outcome? What might happen if you simply allowed life to unfold naturally, trusting that you'll be guided to where you need to be? The truth is, letting go of control is not about passivity. It's about finding peace in the unknown and trusting the process. By adopting this mindset, you'll not only gain greater freedom, but also open up to new possibilities that would have remained hidden if you had kept forcing the same path. This is where true growth happens and where the beauty of life can truly shine. Number 2, trust the process and timing. There's a natural rhythm, a flow of events that cannot be rushed. Patience, often mistaken for passivity, is, in fact, one of the most powerful tools we can wield. As Denzel Washington wisely points out, don't force it, just trust it. This resonates deeply with modern Stoicism, which teaches us that time and process are essential in shaping our lives. We may feel the urge to push, to hurry, and to control every moment, but often, it is in the stillness, in the waiting, that we find clarity and growth. There's a reason why Stoics like Epictetus advised us to focus on what we can control, leaving everything else to unfold naturally. Success is rarely the product of rushing. It's the result of patience, persistence, and trust. In the chaotic world of today, we often feel that every moment demands immediate action, but as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. In other words, the challenges we face and the times we are forced to wait are not barriers. They are opportunities to practice patience, self-reflection, and ultimately, growth. Trusting the process means recognizing that every step, no matter how small, contributes to the larger journey. It's easy to become frustrated when things don't go according to our plan, but it's important to remember that we do not control the timing of everything in our lives. Often, the best moments happen when we step back and allow things to unfold in their own time. Trying to force something before it's ready often leads to burnout, frustration, and missed opportunities. Imagine a seed being forced to grow faster than its natural cycle. It may sprout prematurely, but it won't be strong enough to survive. The same applies to us. When we force things before we're truly ready, we risk creating an outcome that is unstable and unsustainable. Instead, we should embrace the natural flow of life, trusting that in time, what we need will come. This doesn't mean sitting idle. It means preparing yourself during the waiting period, learning, reflecting, and positioning yourself for success when the moment finally arrives. In the modern world, where instant gratification often reigns, this concept can be hard to digest. We live in an age where the pressure to succeed quickly is overwhelming. Social media bombards us with the achievements of others, and we may feel like we are falling behind. However, taking a step back and focusing on the process rather than the outcome can bring a sense of peace and purpose. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step, said Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. This quote reminds us that we don't need to have everything figured out from the start. We just need to trust in the journey and take that first step. Each decision, no matter how small, contributes to building the foundation for what is to come. And with every step, we become more resilient, more capable, and more prepared for the opportunities that life will present. This mindset aligns perfectly with modern Stoicism, which teaches us to embrace uncertainty and take each day as it comes, trusting that life will unfold as it should. Sometimes life will present obstacles, and we may feel disheartened. But instead of succumbing to impatience or frustration, we must remember that these are the very experiences that help us grow. It's in the waiting, in the reflection, that we cultivate the virtues of wisdom and strength. Think of an artist working on a masterpiece. Each stroke, each layer of paint, adds to the overall creation. If they rushed through the process, the work would lack depth and meaning. Similarly, the process of life demands patience and attention to detail. Everything has its time, and when we push against the current, we only create unnecessary resistance. In contrast, when we trust in the timing of things, we align ourselves with the natural flow of life, and this alignment brings with it a sense of purpose and inner peace. The most successful individuals, whether in their careers, relationships, or personal growth, are those who have learned the power of timing. They understand that not every door opens immediately, and that waiting for the right moment often yields the best results. So when you feel frustrated by the slow pace of your journey, take a deep breath, step back, and remember that every moment of waiting is not wasted. It's an opportunity for preparation. You may not have all the answers now, but trust that when the time is right, you will be ready to act, and things will fall into place with far less effort than if you had forced them. Life, much like a river, has its own flow. When we resist the current, we struggle, but when we align ourselves with it, everything moves more smoothly. Modern Stoicism teaches us to trust the process and the timing of life. Patience is not a passive act, but a dynamic process of growth, learning, and self-reflection. Trust that life will unfold as it should, and know that every challenge and every delay is an opportunity to build the strength and wisdom needed for what lies ahead. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us, no man was ever wise by chance. True wisdom comes from understanding that time and process are on our side, helping us to become the best version of ourselves. By trusting in this, we can embrace life's uncertainties with calmness and confidence, knowing that the right opportunities will come when we are truly ready for them. Number 3. Make space for opportunities. In life, we often feel an intense need to control every aspect of our existence, whether it's striving for specific goals, managing relationships, or pushing for certain outcomes. We convince ourselves that we must dictate the flow of life. However, when we release the grip on this need for control, we create space for something far more profound and transformative: opportunities. Denzel Washington, in his wisdom, once remarked, "Don't confuse movement with progress," a reminder that relentless pushing forward doesn't necessarily lead us to meaningful progress. In fact, it can often blind us to the subtler, more significant opportunities unfolding all around us. Life is not a race. It is a journey with its own rhythm. And when we stop forcing things, we open ourselves to what is meant to come in its own time and in its own way. When we focus too much on a specific outcome or path, we often become fixated on a narrow vision. This obsession with control can prevent us from noticing the broader range of opportunities that might be much more rewarding. By trusting the process and letting go of the need to control everything, we create space for life to surprise us in ways we never imagined. This philosophy is deeply rooted in modern Stoicism, which teaches that we should focus on what is within our control and accept what is not, allowing things to unfold naturally. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus have long emphasized the importance of recognizing the things we cannot change, and in doing so, freeing ourselves from unnecessary stress. The more we release our rigid expectations, the more we realize that the world doesn't always move according to the timelines we've set for ourselves. Opportunities often don't arrive in the form we anticipate. They don't follow the exact plans we've written for ourselves. The universe, much like nature, operates on its own timing and rhythm, and when we let go of our tight grip, we align ourselves with this rhythm. We become more attuned to the subtle shifts and signs around us that indicate new possibilities. But this doesn't mean giving up or stopping our pursuit of dreams and ambitions. It simply means that we stop fighting against the flow of life, trusting that the right things will come when they are meant to. As Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, wisely said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Often, what we perceive as obstacles, things we want to control or overcome, can actually be gateways to new opportunities. When we stop forcing outcomes and instead open ourselves to the flow of life, we allow space for unexpected paths to emerge, paths that might lead us to greater fulfillment than we had originally planned. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by the pressure to succeed, achieve, and meet all of our goals. We feel as though time is slipping away, and we need to be constantly pushing forward. If things aren't going according to our plans, it's tempting to think we're falling behind. But it is precisely in these moments of pause, when we stop trying to force things, that we make room for the opportunities that are truly meant for us. This is the paradox of life. By letting go of our need to control everything, we actually gain more control over our happiness, satisfaction, and overall success. This is the essence of modern Stoicism. Learning to trust the natural unfolding of life and not forcing our will upon every situation. When you stop pushing so hard to make things happen, you become more attuned to the world around you. You begin to notice opportunities that were once hidden from view, and you see how they align with your greater purpose. Trusting the process isn't a passive act of waiting for things to happen, but an active engagement with life itself. It's about understanding that while we cannot control every detail, we can control our attitude toward what's unfolding. This shift in perspective allows us to move through life with a sense of peace and openness, knowing that life will guide us toward the right opportunities at the right time. By relinquishing the constant urge to force every situation, we create space for life to work its magic. The opportunities that appear might not be the ones we had envisioned, but they will be the ones we were truly meant for. Life has a way of surprising us with new paths, new challenges, and new rewards that we could not have predicted. These opportunities are often more aligned with our true needs and desires than the ones we've stubbornly clung to. So, take a step back and release the need to control every aspect of your life. Allow life to unfold as it will, knowing that by making space for the unexpected, you are giving yourself the chance to embrace something greater than you had originally planned. The opportunities will come, not when you demand them, but when you allow them to. Comment below with a simple, "I'm ready to trust the process," and let us know if you've ever experienced a moment when letting go brought unexpected opportunities into your life. Don't forget to watch until the end. Our last 3 points are packed with insights that might just change how you see life's challenges. Stay tuned for some surprising lessons you won't want to miss. Number 4. Honor your personal process. It's easy to get caught up in comparing your journey to someone else's, especially when you feel like you're not where you should be by a certain age or stage. But here's a powerful truth. Everyone's path is different. Your journey is unique to you, and trying to force it to follow someone else's timeline can only lead to frustration, self-doubt, and burnout. Think about it. How often do we look at someone else's success and think, "Why isn't that happening for me?" But the Stoic secrets remind us that success is not a one-size-fits-all concept, and it certainly doesn't unfold at the same time for everyone. Denzel Washington once shared a profound piece of wisdom that ties perfectly into this. Don't chase success. Let it chase you. The essence of this is understanding that forcing things to happen on your timeline can often be counterproductive. Instead, focusing on your own personal process and embracing where you are right now can open the door to a deeper sense of fulfillment. It's crucial to recognize your own worth and stop measuring it against someone else's progress. Think about someone in your life, maybe a close friend or a colleague, who seems to be thriving while you're still figuring things out. Have you ever compared yourself to them? Have you ever felt that pang of inadequacy? It's natural, but it's also a trap. The Stoics teach us that comparing ourselves to others doesn't serve us. It only diminishes our confidence and distorts our sense of self. True growth comes when you stop looking at other people's timelines and start honoring your own. This isn't about being passive or lazy. It's about being patient and kind to yourself as you move through your own process. Imagine for a moment, if you just stopped comparing yourself to everyone else. What would that feel like? What if you could embrace your own path, failures and all, as part of a greater, unfolding story? You'd stop seeing setbacks as failures and start recognizing them as necessary experiences for growth. And remember, this doesn't mean you give up on ambition or goals. It means you stop measuring success by someone else's standards. For example, consider the story of a close friend who decided to leave their stable, well-paying job to pursue a dream they'd had for years, to open a small cafe. It wasn't easy. There were moments of doubt, financial struggles, and setbacks that made them question their decision. But they didn't rush the process. And over time, they learned the true meaning of their own success. They found satisfaction in the journey, the challenges, the small victories, and the gradual growth of their business. It didn't happen on anyone else's schedule. It happened on theirs, at their own pace. The lesson here is that there's no one way to achieve success, and there's certainly no one timeline for achieving it. This is the beauty of honoring your personal process, by understanding that growth isn't always linear and that setbacks are part of the learning curve. You need to give yourself permission to honor your own timing. Maybe right now things are slower than you'd like. Maybe you're working towards something that doesn't seem to be paying off yet. But what if the process itself, all those little steps and lessons along the way, is where your growth truly lies? What if you could let go of the pressure to succeed in a particular way or at a particular time, and simply trust that your journey is unfolding as it should? This is where the Stoic secrets shine. By accepting your own pace, you let go of frustration and self-criticism, and create space for greater peace and creativity. The truth is, the more you focus on comparing your progress to others, the more likely you are to lose sight of your own dreams, goals, and unique path. So, here's a question for you. What would happen if you honored your own journey, without comparing it to someone else's? What if you fully embraced your process, knowing that every success and setback is a vital part of your growth? The Stoics would tell you that this is the path to true peace and personal fulfillment. By accepting your unique timeline and allowing yourself to grow at your own pace, you unlock the power to find satisfaction and joy in the present moment. Let go of the idea that success should look like someone else's version of it. Embrace your own path, even if it looks different or takes longer than you imagined. That's where true happiness lies, when you stop chasing someone else's version of success and start embracing your own. Number 5. Faith and patience matter. Faith and patience are two powerful, intertwined forces that lie at the core of Stoic wisdom and are essential for navigating life's challenges. As Denzel Washington wisely advises, don't force it, just trust it, emphasizing the importance of trusting the journey, especially when the path ahead is unclear. In modern Stoicism, faith isn't about having all the answers or knowing exactly where we are headed. It's about trusting the process, even when we feel uncertain. Faith is believing in yourself, even when you can't yet see the results of your efforts. As Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, taught, freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. This resonates in today's world, where we are often overwhelmed by the need for certainty. Faith allows us to embrace life's uncertainty and move forward with patience, without needing everything figured out immediately. Patience is often misunderstood as mere waiting, but in Stoicism, it's an active form of resilience. It's not about being idle, but about continuing to put in effort while letting things unfold naturally. Life requires time to reveal its true form, and every small step we take contributes to a larger picture. Even when progress seems slow or invisible, each action compounds over time, bringing us closer to our goals. Seneca, another Stoic sage, once wrote, "Patience is a great element of success." The value of patience doesn't lie in the waiting itself, but in how we use that time. Instead of succumbing to impatience, we can turn it into an opportunity to take small, deliberate actions that will eventually lead to bigger successes. Modern life pressures us to chase quick rewards and instant results, but Stoicism teaches the opposite. True success comes to those who are willing to stay committed to their path, even when the outcome is unclear. In today's fast-paced world, the pressure to achieve quickly can feel overwhelming. We live in an era of instant gratification, where promotions, achievements, and milestones seem just a click away. This rush can make patience seem like a weakness or something to avoid, but that desire for quick results often leads to frustration and burnout. Success, especially the kind that brings fulfillment, is not instantaneous. Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic emperor, famously said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." This teaches us that obstacles aren't barriers but rather opportunities to build resilience and deepen our understanding. The time we spend working through challenges is part of the process, and when we trust the process, the rewards are often greater than we expected. We don't need to force things to happen. With patience and preparation, the right opportunities will arise when we're ready. Faith and patience work together, creating a synergy that guides us through life's difficulties. Patience teaches us to stay focused on what we can control, while faith helps us trust in the bigger picture we cannot always see. This combination enables us to face life's inevitable challenges without giving in to frustration or doubt. Faith, in this context, isn't about certainty. It's about trusting that, even in uncertainty, we are moving in the right direction. We might not have all the answers, but we can remain grounded in the belief that we are exactly where we need to be. Modern Stoicism offers a blueprint for this kind of faith. It encourages us to be patient, stay present, and trust that each step, even if it feels like a setback, brings us closer to our goals. The most successful people in life, whether in their careers, relationships, or personal growth, are those who understand the value of faith and patience. They recognize that life's journey isn't a sprint, but a marathon, one that requires both endurance and the wisdom to know when to pause. This lesson is applicable to everyone, regardless of where we are in life. When we feel overwhelmed by the speed of our own journey, it's important to remember that success is not about how quickly we move, but how consistently we keep moving forward. Lao Tzu, the ancient philosopher, once said, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." Success is built step by step, and we must trust that each small action takes us closer to our destination. Faith and patience are vital virtues in both Stoicism and modern life. They allow us to face uncertainty with confidence and to keep striving, even when progress seems slow. Patience is not a sign of weakness, but of strength and resilience. By trusting the process and believing in our path, we free ourselves from the pressure of needing immediate results, allowing ourselves to grow at the pace life requires. As the Stoics taught, the right outcome will come when we are ready, not when we force it. Faith, combined with patience, is the key to achieving lasting success and fulfillment. So, when doubt or frustration arises, remember to be patient, trust in the journey, and keep moving forward, knowing that everything will fall into place when the time is right. Number 6. The power of letting go. We often cling to the belief that we must control every outcome, decision, and relationship. However, true peace and fulfillment arise not from holding on tightly, but from the strength found in letting go. As Denzel Washington wisely put it, "Don't confuse movement with progress," reminding us that simply pushing forward doesn't always lead to meaningful change. Letting go isn't a sign of weakness or failure. It's an act of strength that frees us from the need to control everything, especially things beyond our reach. By releasing this need for control, we unlock an inner peace that comes from accepting what is, rather than fighting against what we cannot change. This philosophy echoes in modern Stoicism, which teaches us to focus on what we can control and accept what we cannot. As Epictetus said, we cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them. The more we let go of things outside our control, the less burdened we feel, making space for clarity, peace, and personal growth. Letting go is not about surrendering to defeat, but rather accepting the natural flow of life. We often hold on to the belief that we can control outcomes, whether in relationships, career goals, or personal aspirations. But some things are simply not meant to be, and no amount of effort can change that. This understanding is at the heart of Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Instead of resisting life's obstacles, we can embrace them as opportunities for growth. By letting go of outdated expectations and the need to control every situation, we free ourselves from the anxiety of past mistakes or future uncertainties. We become more present, more able to engage with life as it unfolds. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning our dreams or giving up on our goals. On the contrary, it can make us more focused and purposeful. When we stop obsessing over forcing specific outcomes, we trust that life will guide us to where we need to be, even if it's not what we expected. This is not about giving up. It's about relinquishing the need to control every step of the journey and allowing life to unfold naturally. By releasing rigid expectations, we align ourselves with the flow of life, and we begin to see opportunities we might have missed before. As we loosen our grip on what we cannot control, we make room for peace and clarity, trusting that everything will fall into place at the right time. In today's fast-paced world, we're often pressured to strive for more, achieve faster, and control every aspect of our lives. But this constant drive to control can lead to stress and frustration, obscuring the gifts life offers when we allow it to unfold naturally. The true power of letting go lies in the freedom it provides, the freedom to stop struggling against every current and trust that life will take us where we need to go. Letting go is not an act of passivity. It's an active practice of trusting in life's natural rhythm, where we stop forcing things to happen and instead allow things to fall into place. By letting go, we create space for new opportunities, experiences, and ideas to emerge. We often find that when we release our tight grip on life, things begin to align in ways we never could have planned. Modern Stoicism teaches that the path to serenity and fulfillment isn't found in forcing outcomes, but in accepting what we cannot control and focusing on what we can. The more we practice letting go, the more we realize that life doesn't need us to manage every detail. It's unfolding as it should, and by accepting this, we free ourselves to experience peace, clarity, and confidence. So, let go of what weighs you down, trust the process, and be open to the surprising opportunities life presents when you release the need for control. Number 7. Finding peace in surrender. Surrendering control may seem like an act of weakness, but in reality, it's a profound expression of strength and wisdom. In our fast-paced, goal-driven world, it's easy to think that we must always be in charge, always pushing forward to achieve, to succeed, to control every outcome. But here's the truth. Life doesn't always work on our terms. There's a certain beauty in accepting that not everything will go according to plan. And that's not just okay, it's a gift. When you learn to surrender, you stop fighting the flow of life, and you start embracing it. Denzel Washington once shared a powerful thought that resonates deeply with Stoic philosophy. Don't chase success, let it chase you. In these words, he is calling us to trust the journey, to stop forcing things, and to have faith that life will unfold as it should. This isn't about giving up or resigning to passivity. Far from it. Surrendering control is an active choice, a deliberate decision to trust that the process of life will bring you to where you need to be, even if it's not exactly where you thought you'd end up. This is where the Stoic secrets come in. The Stoics taught that our peace doesn't come from controlling everything, but from accepting what we cannot control. They understood that there's a natural order to the world, a rhythm that we often can't see in the moment but which guides us when we trust it. Let me share a story with you that beautifully illustrates this point. A friend of mine was once deeply frustrated by her career. She worked tirelessly for years, striving for promotions, working long hours, and pushing herself to the limit. But no matter how hard she tried, it seemed like the right opportunity was always just out of reach. She was burnt out, stressed, and feeling like she was running in circles. One day she decided to take a step back. Instead of forcing herself to climb the ladder, she embraced the idea of surrendering control, trusting that the right opportunity would come when it was meant to, without her needing to push so hard. She focused on doing her best in the present moment, without obsessing over the future. It wasn't easy at first, but over time, she found herself more at peace. Then, just when she least expected it, a new opportunity presented itself, one that was even better than she had imagined. She didn't chase it, it found her. Her story is a perfect example of how surrendering isn't about giving up. It's about having the wisdom to trust in the process, knowing that life has its own timing. Have you ever been in a situation where you were pushing for something so hard, only to find that letting go brought you the very thing you wanted? It's not easy to surrender, especially when we feel like we're running out of time or missing out on opportunities. But the Stoic secrets teach us that peace comes when we accept that we cannot control everything. Life will unfold as it should, and what's meant for you will find its way to you. Think of the times when you stopped fighting, when you let go of the need to control, and how much more at ease you felt afterward. This is the essence of surrender. Trusting that you've done your part and now it's time to let things unfold naturally. Surrender is not a passive act of inaction. It's an active choice to align yourself with the natural flow of life. It's saying, I will do my best, and trust that the outcome will be right for me. This doesn't mean we stop working toward our goals or giving our best effort. Instead, it means we stop fighting against life's natural course. When we surrender, we stop living in constant resistance and we begin to feel more connected with the world around us. Have you ever noticed how things tend to get easier when you stop forcing them? The beauty of surrender is that it brings peace, not because you've given up, but because you've let go of unnecessary pressure. You start to feel aligned with life, and things start happening with ease rather than force. So, ask yourself, what would happen if you let go of the need to control every detail? What if you trusted that life has a plan for you, even if it's not the plan you envisioned? Remember, surrendering isn't about passivity, it's about trust. When you find peace in surrender, you align yourself with the natural flow of life, and things will unfold in ways that bring you more joy and fulfillment than you could have ever imagined. Have you ever felt like backing down would be more beneficial than pushing harder? Comment yes if you've experienced this, or comment 1 if you're ready to embrace your unique journey. And don't forget to watch B, Methods to Stop Forcing, until the end, where we reveal a surprising perspective that will change the way you view life's challenges. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. B, Methods to Stop Forcing. Number 1. Focus on what you can control. When navigating the complexities of life, one of the most powerful approaches is to focus on what you can control. In modern Stoicism, this is a cornerstone principle that can significantly reduce stress and increase a sense of agency. The Stoics believe that while we cannot control external events or the actions of others, we can control our reactions, our thoughts, and our decisions. By redirecting our energy away from what lies beyond our influence, we free ourselves from the constant worry and anxiety that come with trying to control everything. Instead of fixating on things outside our power, such as the future or others' behavior, we are empowered to focus on what we can actively change: our mindset, our habits, and the actions we take each day. The power of this shift in perspective cannot be overstated. By focusing on our own choices, we regain a sense of control that helps us feel grounded, even when the world around us seems chaotic. This focus allows us to build resilience, especially in moments of uncertainty. In practice, this means prioritizing the things within our grasp, like our daily routines, how we engage with others, and the way we choose to think about challenges. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously said, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." It's a reminder that while external events may seem unpredictable, our reactions to those events are entirely within our control. In today's fast-paced world, we often face pressures to achieve everything all at once, which can lead to frustration when things don't unfold as expected. We live in a culture that prizes speed, success, and instant results. However, by adopting the Stoic mindset of focusing on what we can control, we make peace with the fact that change takes time. Rather than striving for perfection or rushing toward a destination, we can focus on consistent, incremental progress. It's the small, daily actions that eventually create the bigger picture. The Stoics taught us that true progress is rarely the result of grand, sweeping efforts. Instead, it's a product of steady, focused work over time. This shift in focus not only helps reduce stress but also nurtures a deeper sense of contentment. When we stop obsessing over things beyond our control, we can embrace the present moment more fully. Instead of worrying about potential outcomes, we can focus on doing the best we can in the here and now. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." When we direct our attention to what we can control, we make better use of our time and energy, cultivating a more peaceful, fulfilling existence. This philosophy aligns with the principles of modern Stoicism, which teaches us that by focusing on our own actions and mindset, we are more likely to create the conditions for success without the need to force outcomes or rush toward results. Focusing on what we can control also helps us develop a greater sense of clarity and purpose. When we let go of the need to micromanage every aspect of life, we create space for more meaningful pursuits. This freedom allows us to stop stressing over the uncontrollable and start concentrating on what truly matters. In modern life, this could mean spending more time on personal development, cultivating healthy relationships, or honing skills that are aligned with our long-term goals. When we embrace this Stoic mindset, we realize that small changes and steady effort often lead to the most significant transformations. Rather than chasing after everything at once, we begin to appreciate the value of small, consistent actions that build over time. In the context of modern Stoicism, this approach calls for patience, persistence, and a deep trust in the process. Each day, each action, and each moment of self-discipline brings us one step closer to our goals. By focusing on what we can control, our thoughts, habits, and reactions, we free ourselves from the pressure to force things to happen. Instead, we allow them to unfold naturally, knowing that progress is the result of the work we put in, not the speed at which we achieve it. Focusing on what we can control allows us to lead lives that are less driven by anxiety and more by intentionality. We stop stressing about the future and start investing in the present, knowing that each step is part of a larger, meaningful journey. This philosophy of focusing on what we can control helps us achieve not only external success, but also internal peace. By letting go of the need to manipulate outcomes and trusting in the process, we move through life with more clarity, calm, and resilience. The lessons of Stoicism remain as relevant today as they were in ancient times, providing us with timeless tools to navigate the complexities of modern life. By embracing the wisdom of focusing on what we can control, we open ourselves up to the power of patience, persistence, and self-mastery, the true path to long-term success and fulfillment. Number 2, accept life's unpredictability. Life is inherently unpredictable, and despite our best efforts to control it, things rarely unfold exactly as we envision. We often try to manage every detail, believing that if we could just anticipate and control the outcomes, we could avoid disappointment. But as Denzel Washington wisely said, "Don't confuse movement with progress," reminding us that constantly pushing forward doesn't necessarily lead to success or fulfillment. In fact, trying to control everything often leads to frustration, burnout, and stress. The core principle of modern Stoicism teaches us that true resilience doesn't come from clinging to rigid plans, but from embracing life's unpredictability and adapting when things don't go as expected. As Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, stated, "We cannot choose our external circumstances, but we can always choose how we respond to them." Accepting life's uncertainty doesn't mean giving up, but rather releasing the need for control and trusting that life will unfold in its own time and way. When we stop trying to force every outcome to match our expectations, we make space for new opportunities. Often what we see as setbacks Whether it's a failed project, a lost job, or a broken relationship, can turn out to be unexpected opportunities for growth. A career setback, for instance, might lead to a path we never considered, opening doors to new possibilities we would have missed if we had rigidly stuck to our original plans. Modern Stoicism teaches us that growth isn't always linear. It's often filled with detours. As Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Instead of resisting obstacles, we can choose to see them as opportunities to learn, refine our goals, and grow stronger. Each twist in the road can provide valuable lessons that prepare us for the next phase of our journey. This adaptability is a key aspect of resilience. Life is full of surprises, and it's easy to get frustrated when things don't go according to plan. However, the true test of our character lies not in avoiding change, but in how we respond to it. When we embrace change and uncertainty with grace, we free ourselves from the need to control everything. This doesn't mean abandoning our goals or giving up on our dreams. It means learning to trust that life will unfold as it should, even if it's not on our desired timeline. Stoic philosophy teaches that it's not the external events that cause us stress, but our reactions to them. By adopting a mindset of adaptability, we can navigate life's uncertainties with calm and confidence, knowing that we have the resilience to handle whatever challenges arise. In practical terms, accepting life's unpredictability means letting go of rigid expectations. Instead of fixating on a specific outcome, we can shift our focus to the process itself, trusting that the right opportunities will present themselves at the right time. In relationships, for instance, rather than forcing connections to meet our expectations, we can approach them with patience and openness, allowing them to evolve naturally. The same applies to our careers. Rather than obsessing over a specific job or position, we can remain open to new opportunities that arise unexpectedly. The beauty of life lies not in its predictability, but in its ability to surprise us with new experiences and insights when we least expect it. Embracing uncertainty also makes us better problem solvers. Challenges no longer feel like insurmountable roadblocks. Instead, they become puzzles to be solved. Some of the most successful individuals throughout history have credited their achievements to their ability to adapt and innovate when things didn't go as planned. The ability to remain flexible and open to change can make all the difference in overcoming obstacles and seizing new opportunities. The Stoics understood that the only thing truly within our control is our response to the challenges life throws our way. By developing a calm and measured response to life's unpredictability, we open ourselves to creative solutions and opportunities we might have missed by clinging to fixed expectations. In today's fast-paced world, the pressure to have everything figured out can be overwhelming. We live in an age where there's constant pressure to meet deadlines, achieve goals, and stay ahead of the curve. Yet, no matter how well we plan, life will always have its own course, and we can't predict every outcome. The key to peace amidst this uncertainty is learning to let go of the need for control. By stopping the relentless push to force everything to fit into our plans, we free ourselves from stress and anxiety. This doesn't mean we stop striving for our goals. It means we release the need to micromanage every detail and trust that life will unfold as it should. Accepting life's unpredictability is one of the most liberating lessons we can learn. The more we embrace uncertainty, the more we open ourselves to new opportunities and experiences that life has to offer. Rather than resisting life's flow, we can choose to flow with it, trusting that each turn is leading us where we need to be. By adopting the principles of modern Stoicism, we can navigate life with greater resilience, adaptability, and peace. We can't control the world around us, but we can always choose how we respond to it, and that choice is where true freedom and fulfillment lie. Number 3. Let go and trust the flow of life. Sometimes the hardest thing to do in life is to let go. We've all been there, trying to control every detail, every step, and every outcome as we chase our goals. But the truth is, the more we try to force things, the more we miss out on the natural flow of life. There's a Stoic secret that's often overlooked. Letting go doesn't mean giving up on your dreams. It means releasing the need to control how and when they unfold. This is where trust comes in. When you trust the flow of life, you begin to understand that things happen at the right time, sometimes later than you hoped, but always when they're meant to. As Denzel Washington so wisely puts it, don't chase success, let it chase you. There's a quiet power in allowing life to unfold without constantly pushing against it. By surrendering the need to control everything, you open up space for opportunities and experiences that might not fit into the plan you've been obsessively crafting. Have you ever noticed that the moments of greatest growth in your life often come from unexpected opportunities? Maybe a job offer appeared when you were least expecting it, or a relationship blossomed when you weren't actively seeking it. This is what happens when you let go and trust the flow of life. It's not about abandoning your goals or becoming passive, but about recognizing that you don't have to force every door open. Life has a rhythm, and when you align yourself with it, you'll find that things come to you with ease, rather than struggle. Letting go and trusting the process is not about ignoring your ambitions. It's about understanding that sometimes the best opportunities are the ones you didn't plan for. Take the example of a friend of mine, an entrepreneur who was dead set on launching his startup at a particular time. He worked tirelessly, making plans, setting deadlines, and trying to force things into place. But despite his best efforts, the business didn't take off. He was frustrated, thinking that all his hard work was for nothing. Then one day he decided to step back and surrender control. He stopped obsessing over the timeline and focused on improving the product instead of pushing for immediate results. To his surprise, within months, the business took off in ways he had never imagined. Through a new partnership that wasn't even on his radar before. It wasn't the timing he had expected, but it was the timing he needed. His success came not from forcing things, but from trusting that life had its own plan for him. In the same way, you can trust that life has a way of guiding you to where you need to be, as long as you stop fighting against it. Do you trust the flow of your life? Or are you constantly pushing for things to happen on your terms? It's a difficult balance to strike, having goals, taking action, and yet knowing when to step back and let life guide you. But this is one of the Stoic secrets that can truly bring peace into your life. When you stop forcing and start trusting, you allow yourself the freedom to be open to new paths and experiences. You no longer feel like you're swimming upstream, and instead, you begin to flow with life, embracing both the uncertainties and the opportunities that come your way. Ask yourself, what might you be forcing right now in your life? What would it look like if you let go of the need to control everything and just trusted the process? It might feel uncomfortable at first, but when you surrender to life's natural flow, you begin to experience a sense of peace and clarity that you never imagined possible. The lesson here is simple but profound. Trust that life will guide you to where you need to be, and let go of the need to force the process. In doing so, you'll find yourself living more fully in the present moment, discovering new opportunities and paths that you never even considered. Life has a way of unfolding perfectly when we stop trying to control every detail. Let go, trust the flow, and let life surprise you in ways that you could never have planned. Which of these steps resonates with you most? Comment 1. If you're ready to focus on what you can control. 2. If you're learning to embrace life's unpredictability. Or 3. If you're letting go and trusting the flow of life. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Don't forget, the final insight in this video offers a powerful perspective that could transform how you approach life. In conclusion, remember that the key to true growth and happiness lies in letting go of the need to force things. By trusting life's timing and releasing the urge to control every outcome, you create space for new opportunities to naturally unfold. Embrace patience, faith, and flexibility, and you'll begin to see that life has its own plan for you, one that doesn't always match your expectations, but always brings what you need. Take a moment today to reflect. What are you trying to force in your life? How might things improve if you simply let go and trusted the process? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your experiences in the comments below. And if you found this message helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Stoic in Your Life for more wisdom on living with purpose and peace.